Hey there, and welcome. Today we're digging into a question that I bet a lot of us have kicked around in our heads at some point. It's about this big journey, not just for money, but for that feeling of peace that's supposed to come with it. It's a quest for two things that can feel like they're on opposite sides of the universe: wealth and tranquility.
So this is the actual question that got me thinking. It basically asks, how do I get rich? How long is that going to take for a total beginner? And this is the big one. Will I actually find peace when I get there? I mean, the honesty there is just, wow, right? It breaks it down so perfectly. You've got the how, the when, and the why. The real prize at the end. It's a roadmap so many of us are desperately trying to draw for ourselves.
All right, so let's tackle that first piece, the how. But before we can even get into strategies and all that, we got to take a step back. We need to ask a way more basic question. Seriously, when you hear that word rich, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Yeah, and see, that's the thing. The first thing we all need to get is that rich doesn't mean the same thing to everybody. It's not just some magic number in your bank account, right? For one person, it could be the freedom to just drop everything and travel the world. For someone else, it's simpler. It's just knowing their family is taken care of, no stress. So the real starting line, it's not learning about stocks. Nope. It's figuring out what rich actually, truly means to you.
So once you know what you're aiming for, the how for any beginner kind of breaks down into these two big ideas. You've got kamai, which is just earning. It's your 9 to 5, your side hustle, the active work you do to bring money in. And then on the other side, you have bathaldry, or growth. Now this is the cool part. This is passive. This is where your money starts doing the heavy lifting for you, making more money all on its own. And here's the key. To build that real, lasting wealth, you gotta have both. No way around it.
Okay, so that's the how in a nutshell. But let's get to the second part of that question, and this is the one that keeps people up at night, especially when they're just starting out. The big one: when? Just how long is this whole thing going to take?
I mean, we all want a delivery date, right? An ETA for our dreams. Like, if I start today, I'll hit my goal in exactly 5.7 years. It's such a natural question to ask. It comes from this really human place of just wanting to know that all the effort is going to be worth it and, when we can finally take a breath and relax.
But, and this is the tough part to hear, there's just no fixed schedule. This whole journey, it isn't a race with one finish line for everyone. It's a totally personal path. You've got the shuruat, right? The very beginning where you're just learning the ropes. Then comes the mehnat, and that's the grind. That's the years of putting in the work. Eventually, you'll hit a padav, a huge milestone, like maybe you're financially free. But then, what's next? That question mark there, Anan Safar. Is it an endless journey? For a lot of people, yeah. The goalposts just keep on moving. The point is, your timeline is yours and yours alone.
And that leads us perfectly into the last, and honestly, the deepest part of this whole question. We've hit the how and the when, but now let's get real and talk about the why. This is where we get to the very heart of it all.
So on one hand, you have the thing we can actually see and measure, dolat, or wealth. This is the stuff, right? The financial security, the dream house, the ability to not sweat the bills every month. This is the thing we're all actively chasing.
But then there's the thing we can only feel. Sukoon. Peace. And let's be honest, this is what we really truly want. It's that feeling of just calm, contentment, that deep down knowledge that everything's okay. It's the whole reason we started chasing the wealth in the first place, isn't it?
And this right here, this just lays out the central problem so perfectly. We all kind of have this built-in assumption that if we just get the dalit, the wealth, it's an automatic ticket to sukoon, to peace. But look at that arrow. It's a massive question mark, isn't it? Is that connection even real? Is it guaranteed? Does money automatically buy peace of mind? And that, my friends, is the hidden trap in this whole quest.
So, as we break down this amazing question piece by piece, you start to realize something. Maybe we've been looking at this whole journey the wrong way. Maybe it's time to reframe the entire thing.
Here's what it all comes down to. When we get totally obsessed with the mechanics of it all, the how to invest, the when it'll happen, we can so easily forget why we even started down this road. It's like we're so focused on building the fastest car that we forget where we were trying to drive to in the first place. The real question isn't just about the steps you take. It's about making sure the prize at the end is what you actually want.
And so, that brings us right back to the beginning, but in a new way. It leaves us right here. Before you start drawing up spreadsheets for the how and getting anxious about the when, the real first step, the true first step, is to answer this for yourself. What does a wealthy life actually look like to you? And maybe even more important, what does a peaceful life feel like to you? Because figuring out your own answers to those questions, that isn't just another step on the journey. That is the journey, starting right now.